What's going on, everyone? Beastly Gamer here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I want to talk to you guys about PlayStation 4 Pro, this new hardware that is touted 4K native resolution, increased graphical fidelity and power, even PS4 games that have already been released. At least that's what we heard from Andrew House and Mark Cerny, including games like Shadows of Mordor and Infamous First Light that will get the 4K treatment and up-res patches to fall more in line with the technical power of the PlayStation 4 Pro. So, as someone who owns a lot of AAA titles on my PS4, this is very exciting, especially if you're someone who owns a nice 4K TV running HDR. But apparently there will be certain games out there that will not get this upgrade patch. And it's a little disappointing when you think of how big some of these games might be. I'll drop a link in the description. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Geralt of Rivia, will not get PS4 Pro graphical update. If you're excited to run through The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on a 4K TV using the PlayStation 4 Pro, you might want to temper your expectations. In an interview with Eurogamer, developer CD Projekt Red has confirmed the game will not be getting a PS4 Pro update, meaning the best possible experience will still be on PC. A representative from CD Projekt Red told Eurogamer that, quote, "Since we want to fully focus on Cyberpunk 2077 and Gwent, the standalone game, converting The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt from Full HD into 4K would be too much of a time and resource-consuming process. We decided not to release an edition of Wild Hunt supporting the new features of PlayStation Pro," end quote. CD Projekt Red is not the only developer not immediately throwing resources at the new PS4 Pro. Developer Rami Ismail from developer Vlambeer confirmed in a previously published article that many in the indie community are not thrilled about PlayStation 4 Pro. He said developers would simply not see the financial return of pouring resources into PS4 Pro's improvements. He did note adding support for PS4 Pro improvements are not mandatory by Sony. It is likely that gamers will see developers, especially those in the indie scene, skipping the PS4 Pro altogether. The PS4 Pro was announced earlier in September as a beefier version of Sony's current flagship console. It boasts nearly twice the power of the current system and adds Ultra HD and upscaled 4K support. Microsoft will also be releasing its own updated system, currently codenamed Scorpio. The PS4 Pro is set to hit store shelves on November 10th for $400. How does that make you guys feel? It doesn't make me feel particularly good to know that it's really up in the air. Whether or not developers feel that, upscaling or adding the PlayStation 4 Pro features to games that already exist isn't mandatory. And I know that, for some of these developers are not going to make any money, but games like The Witcher, that game sold gangbusters on PlayStation 4, on Xbox One, on PC. This audience deserves the upscaled experience. Now, I do understand indie developers who might not even be making any money as it is. They might be barely scraping by on PSN and Xbox Live. Those guys, it's going to take quite a bit of money for them to upscale their game, to add new features, to get higher frame rates and resolutions, and they might not have that financial resource to actually pour into the game. But CD Projekt Red is a completely different animal. CD Projekt Red they made a huge amount of money on The Witcher 3 alone. They could easily hire a whole new team to up-res this game for PlayStation 4 Pro. I mean, what are they going to do when the Xbox Scorpio comes out and they want to play The Witcher on the Scorpio? Is it going to look exactly the same as the Xbox One port? When it comes to big developers, I think that they need to make that extra effort to jump from, the iterative change of the PS4 to the Pro, from the Xbox One to the Xbox Scorpio, because a lot of their money comes from these console sales. Tons of this game sold on console. They need to recognize and respect that audience, in my opinion. Let me know in the comment section below, which games do you feel need to have the 4K updates and patches to run on PlayStation Pro and Xbox One Scorpio? I don't care if it's Destiny, if it's Dying Light, Overwatch, Bloodborne, or Halo 5, Gears of War Ultimate, any of these games that are very popular on 8th generation consoles, which of them do you think needs to have the 4K experience? Let me know how you feel about CD Projekt Red kind of slamming the door on gamers who spent tons of money in 2015 making The Witcher 3 one of the best games of the year. Be sure to give a thumbs up, show support for the channel, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and tell all your friends about me. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I'm the Beastly Gamer, and I'll see you guys next time. Let it go, make my body go, make our bodies higher and higher.